I'm Lucy Hawking. I'm Stephen Hawking's daughter. It just used to cause absolute consternation. You know, people would just stand there and stare. Whereas my father had his own electric wheelchair, which he used to drive at great speed across the whole of Cambridge, accompanied by me and my older brother, so two sort of blonde little moppets running alongside with ice creams. I think in horror, amazement and shock, how was this disabled man out by himself? What were these children doing? People just couldn't process the sight. My father always had lots of scientific colleagues who'd come for dinner pretty much every night. And they would discuss extraordinary topics, you know, and no topic was out of bounds. And as a child, you could ask any question you wanted and get a reply. I think it was my son's 8th or 9th birthday party, and one of my son's friends went up to my dad and said, "Oh, Stephen, what would happen to me if I fell in a black hole?" And everyone was really interested, and everyone waited for the answer. And my father said, "You'd be turned into spaghetti." Of course, all the kids were really thrilled and they totally understood his answer. And all the adults kind of pretended they did and went, "Oh, yes, yes." And I realised that was a story. Like, what would he be doing out there in space? And so I said to my father, "I think we should do this. I think I'll write the story and you put in the accurate scientific descriptions of the universe."
Once upon a time, there was a scientist called Stephen. He also had a little daughter called Lucy.
People who have lived in war zones, I mean, people who've lived in really extreme circumstances seem to find something very, very inspirational in his example of perseverance and persistence and his kind of ability to rise above his suffering and still want to communicate at a higher level with humour to a world population.
And then what do you say to your children? What is the best fatherly advice that you give them?
Here are the most important pieces of advice that I've passed on to my children. 1. Remember to look up at the stars and not down at your feet. 2. Never give up work. Work gives you meaning and purpose, and life is empty without it.
It's beautiful advice.
3. If you are lucky enough to find love, remember it is rare and don't throw it away.